So the next step in our plumbing adventure is to hook up and hang the hot water heater on the outside of the trailer. We're going to put it on the passenger side, which is different from how Hiker Trailer does it. They will only put it on the driver's side. So I ended up buying the hot water heater after I picked up the trailer. I did not buy it from Hiker Trailer because they would not install it on the driver's side. And quite frankly, the price I got online for the same hot water heater, I got it for about a quarter of the price. Then I also had to add on the case. So we'll get to that in a few minutes. Right now, we're just enjoying the weather. It's a beautiful day here on Long Island. Another day with the top down, and we'll catch you when we get to the storage unit and just keep working on that trailer.
All right. So what I did here to mount the case for the water tank, I'm using a Pelican 1550. I've taken the lid off from the base to make it a little bit easier to work with. I've mounted the lid to the trailer, but before that I mounted these two pieces of 1/2-inch plywood at the top and at the bottom to the lid. I need a wooden substrate to hang the heater on, so we're gonna hang it from here, from this Phillips head screw, which is fairly snug up against the wood. It'll hang from there, and then 2 bolts from here. And so it'll hang 2 bolts, and then if we need to take it off for servicing, 2 bolts undone, take it off, and this can stay on. And then I'll put the cover back on, put the pins back in, and I'll have the cover on. And the reason I did it this way is I wanted to swing out as so that whoever's standing, I'm actually standing right smack where someone taking a shower would be. See, there's the shower tent. So by doing that, and there's a zipper access in the middle, right about here, whoever's taking a shower can just unzip that, get in, mess with the controls, make it hotter, cooler, whatever they have to do, turn it on, turn it off. And that'll be easily accessible. And I'm not thrilled about this panel being out here. It'll block off access or visible access from the outside, from back here when we're cooking. But to turn it on and turn it off and change the temperature setting, you can just reach underneath over here. I think that won't be a problem. So I wanted to do it this way and not have it accessible from the back, because then the lid, or the base rather, that swings out would swing into the shower area. So now we're just going to hang this here and bolt the bracket in here, and that'll be secured in the lid. All right, so I put the heater on, hung it from the screw on top, and I put a lag bolt and a couple of other longer wood screws in at the bottom. Luckily, they're accessible through the connectors I already had installed. These are the quick connects I have for the hot and cold water, and I have to put the connector on for the gas in a minute. So that's solid. This is not coming out, but I can easily remove it for service if I need to by undoing those 3 bolts and unhooking it from the top. And as you can see, there's just enough clearance at the bottom for the quick connects here. I guess I could have gone a little higher on top, but it's fine the way it is. I don't have to reseat it. If it settles in a little differently, I'll rejigger it. But the lid is back on. I put the hinges back on. So this will be sticking out like that in use. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. And then close it. We just come up here. There's a latch like there, and the lower latch. Just pop the 2 latches open. Up there, down there. This will swing open. And I have my disconnect hoses I'll be finishing up in a few minutes, which will go, let's see, cold. This is the cold supply here. Will come out of the washdown port here, and the hot will come out of here. I'm gonna have a Y splitter. One will go down here for the inlet into the sink inside, and the other will be for the shower. I now have everything hooked up with some custom hoses that I built. So basically we'll start up here. We have the propane tank with a Y connector. This will also branch off to the stove back there. And this will come down here. This feeds into the hot water heater right here. And then the cold water is coming out of the port here. And put a little 90-degree angle. I don't need the valve, so I may swap that out, but I want it to come up straight, not bend out. So that comes up this way and into the input port here. And then the output, which is the hot water, comes into this splitter, where it goes to This, which we'll use now for the shower. We'll probably get something different for it, but that'll be for the shower. And this feeds into the hot water inlet to go to the sink. And everything is, pretty much everything is quick connect. So this whole thing here will just pull right out, storage when we're done. Same thing with this. I don't have a quick connect for the gas. I don't know if they make them. And this will just unscrew pretty easily, and then we'll close everything up. So we're gonna try to put everything back now and turn the system on and hope that we don't have too many leaks. The final test of the water heater plumbing was successful, as we had no leaks and the water heater worked great, turning on when water was fed through it and shutting off when the water was turned off. The water heated up pretty quickly, and this will come in handy on colder days when washing up and washing dishes with cold water is not the best experience. We will also use it for hot showers in the privacy tent, which I'll go through in a future episode. Our galley build is now close to complete. Unfortunately, I did not take any videos of the drawers that I built, but I can at least show you the completed galley loaded up for a trip. I put in a utensil drawer, which is fairly unorganized, but it always bounces around. I also have a custom cutting board that I had made and installed that, so that's pretty convenient to use. Slide that back in. And this drawer down here has some of the cooking equipment. We have our cast iron Dutch oven, some plates, pots and pans, things of that nature stored in here. The sink, there's a empty spot over here for the underneath part of the sink. And then under here we also keep some cast iron stuff as well. It's a big skillet down there. We're going to add a smaller skillet to it when we have a chance. And in this cabinet, I have, well, we keep the dog food and treats and all that over here because they're big containers. They fit pretty well. But as you can see, we've got, well, there's the water pump. There's the Goal Zero. It's charging up now. I'm getting 264 watts of input power, which is pretty good. It's a nice sunny day. And I've got all kinds of wiring and discombobulations going on over here. Back up to the middle shelf, we have an espresso maker, which we love. We use this every morning. We have a $35 microwave oven, which is really come in handy, but we only use that when we're on shore power. And we keep some food up here, and as you can see, the usual kind of setup back here, paper towels. We also have a screen that I built for the pass-through. So this just is Velcro down. This will flip up if we want to use it. We don't use the pass-through too often, but we like to keep the screen to keep the bugs out. And then there's a little latch up here to hold it. Here we go. And then if we need to use the pass-through, we just do that. So I'll put that back, and that stays in place. And then we keep spices up there in the spice rack. And we have an espresso pods and a little rack that I built up here. And here's our frother. I also built this little panel here, which we have the water pump switch over here and a couple of charging outlets as well. This is the display port for an electrical management system that I'll show. I guess I'll show it again down there. It's not plugged in, but this will give you any kind of reading of any faults. It tells you the voltage coming in from when you're on shore power, how many amps you're drawing, things of that nature. So that's pretty cool. And that is wired to the electronic management system. That's sitting back there with that red wire going through. So that'll clear up any power coming in from shore power. And as I said, I'll do a separate video on that. Top shelf, we just have some storage bins, things we use a lot, like salt and pepper and bowls and so that just stay up there like that. And then what we do when we travel is we have these hooks over here and here and the corner there and there and there. And I have these nettings, these nets that I hook on to keep everything kind of held in place. And we also put the stove, we put that in here and settle and secure it with the netting. So right now the stove is hooked up though. There's a little bit of a modification to the table that Hiker Trailer sells. I did not have them install it. I purchased it without the installation because I wanted to put it back off the back. So I custom built this bracket over here with these spinner knobs, and those will just come off easily when we need to take the table off. And this peg leg over here, I modified it to be supported by the trailer itself because our little puppy in the background was sleeping. if we had it sticking down to the floor, as you know, as most people would do, he'll wrap himself around it and pull it out and break the thing, have it fall on him, break his head open, who knows. So I modified it that it's clear underneath, and it's pretty sturdy. I mean, there's no problem at all. We put the Dutch oven on top and it can bear the weight. So that completes our 4-part series on our Galley build, and I hope that some of you may have gotten some useful information out of it. Next week, I'll begin to post videos of our cross-country road trip, starting with our exit from New York and travels down the East Coast to spend some time in warm and sunny Florida. Thanks again for watching.